Watching a recent video, someone just said that capital punishment doesn't deter a crime. It doesn't, deter someone's going to kill someone. They're going to kill someone whether or not the death penalty's in that state or not. And on that part, I do agree. And they were saying that they don't think that there should be a death penalty because of the basic reasons that obviously if there was even one false conviction and a person was killed, then that would be one, that's unacceptable. That this person would be unwilling to accept that as a scenario, which I completely understand. And the other thing was the deterrent, that yes, capital punishment does not seem to deter violent crime. I've never planned on doing a video about this, but having seen this video recently just kind of made me think about it. And so I guess now maybe is the best time. And it's late. It's 1:25 in the morning. Should be sleeping. It's been a long day at the screen. So I apologize if some of this is incoherent. And I am drinking, so blame it on that. About this capital punishment thing, there is some ways in which I am completely in favor of not necessarily capital punishment as we know it now, as it works now, where a person goes on death row and they're convicted of a crime, they sit on death row for 25, 30 years, writing appeals, going to college, watching cable TV, surfing the internet, and then eventually they're executed after the taxpayers have been charged something like $48,000 per year on average, depending on what state they're in. Not only have the taxpayers been charged all that money while these people sit on death row, but these people generally work for the industrial prison system, which is basically free labor for the machine, because you have a free labor force that turns out a good 40% of all your appliances in your kitchen, everything that is assembled, not just license plates and other things. I'm talking, appliances, furniture, things that are put together. A lot of that work is done by prison inmates for, 5, 10 cents, 25 cents an hour, whatever it is they get paid. And then, of course, that's free labor to the machine. So, no, I don't agree with the way the capital punishment system works now because it's ineffective. And it doesn't really deter crime, as this person was pointing out. I'll give him a shout out. You guys already know him from YouTube anyway. It's Paul's Ego. If you don't know Paul, he's a friend of the Amazing Atheist, and he's an interesting character. So Paul, I appreciate it. I'm throwing this out to you because I was watching the Ego Answers Part 2 just now, and when you made the comment about the capital punishment. That's where I'm coming from. But here's the part about that's not going to be popular. This is why I've never made a video on this, is because it's just not going to be popular. It's going to offend some people. There'll be a few people that say, yeah, actually I've thought that too, or, I agree with that. But on the most part, it is not something that the masses would ever go along with. Although I guarantee it would work. I mean, I guarantee it. You give me 5 years and I could eliminate pedophiles, rapists, serial killers, and violent offenders. When I say eliminate, that's exactly what I mean. The crime rate for those crimes would go to 0 after 5 years, because I would have eliminated those that have that behavior. See, we tend to think of crime as a thing, but it's not. Rape is not a thing, it's a behavior. War is not a thing, it's a behavior. Murder. It's not a thing. It's a behavior. All these things are behaviors, and there are some people, and I'm only talking about a rare few, that are some people. I don't know what percentage to put on it, but I'm talking about your Gacy's, your serial killers, your Bundys, your Dahmers, that whatever percentage of those people, there is no rehabilitation for them, because that is what they are. They're killers. They're pedophiles. They're rapists. It's what they are. And there's no rehabilitation that has ever worked. There's never, ever, ever been any program that would stop a pedophile from having the thoughts they're having that compel them so much to go carry out these acts, to where it is an all-consuming desire and passion for them. There's never, in the history of our world so far, there's never been anything that you could take a person that is of that mindset and put them through, or give them a pill to swallow, or tell them a fancy bit of nonsense to repeat like a mantra. There's nothing that gets them over that. Their all-consuming thought is to be a pedophile, or a rapist, or a serial killer, because that's what they are. I would be an advocate for a new program. A new program that, once you are determined to be one of those things, I'm talking about all pedophiles, all rapists, all violent offenders, all serial killers. Once you are determined to be that, the sentence for all of those crimes is always the same for everyone. 30 days. 30 days in a cell, no food, no water. Again, I understand, I already hear why don't you just take them out and shoot them? Well, because of karma. See, because I don't have the right to take life, because I don't create it. Therefore, taking them out and just shooting them requires one person to carry on the karma of propelling the behavior. However, my suggestion would be this. The new system I would implement would be like this. Once the system determines that you are one of these things, in you go. I mean, the trial is over today at 5. You were determined guilty. You're in the cell at 5:15. 30 days. One prison, close all the other prisons down, all of them, you won't need them, and let the people out that all this stupid drug offenses, 70-something% of people that are in prison are there for a drug offense. That's just idiotic. But again, they become a slave. They become a free labor system, workforce for this machine. And that's why they like to keep those people in jail. But they let the pedophiles and the rapists and the serial killers, they let them out, because who wants to deal with them on a daily basis? How would you like to have them as employees? No. You want some easily controlled people. Point is that in 5 years, everyone who's perpetuating this behavior, who, as I've just stated, you cannot cure, you cannot rehabilitate, you cannot change, you cannot do anything but allow them to continue feeding upon people in society who are never going to do that. They say that all the problems of the world are caused by a relatively small few amount of people. I mean, you're talking like 18 to 24, maybe 30%. Let's give it that. 30% of the people are the ones that are going to cause your crime, your robberies, your all the stuff that is on the news. It's only 30% of the population that are causing that. It looks like it's more, but it's only a small few. Those of that percentage that are the pedophiles, the rapists, the serial killers, once you're determined to be that, 30 days. Use one prison, eliminate all these jails and prisons all across the country, and all this, expenses, all the tax money that goes to support it, everything. And they're all privately run anyway, so shut these companies down. I think Halliburton's made enough money, don't you? Shut them down. Have one large prison. They're only going to be there for 30 days, because after 30 days, Clean out the cells. Next. After doing this for 5 years, you would have eliminated that 30% that is your rapists, pedophiles, all those people that are not just undesirable in society, they're toxins to society. See, it's not just that they're unacceptable. There will never come a day when we're just so tolerant and so accepting of everything that pedophiles are going to be cheered about and say, well, that's just how some people are born, and that's just how they are, and they can't help it. Fuck that. Alright? Fuck that. I don't ever want to live in that world. I just don't want to live there, Considering you're only talking about a relatively small amount of people, proportionally speaking, yes, I say eliminate them. And I say let them eliminate themselves. This is back to the karma thing. This is why you don't just take them out and shoot them. First of all, bullets cost too much money. But the other part is the karma, is that you don't have that right, and neither do I. But once they choose to behave as a murderer, as a pedophile, as a rapist, once they decide that they are that and they have already committed that crime, we'll get to a way that you can know 100% of the time, 100% for sure, if a person did something or not. We'll get to that in a minute. So that way, Paul, I guarantee there would never be one innocent person that would ever do any time in jail, ever. And I can eliminate all the lawyers in the world, and the judges too, while we're at it. We'll get to that. You let them eliminate themselves, because we don't have that right. No other person has that right. But once you decide to feed or prey on a child, because that's just how you are and you can't help it, fine, you've made that decision. It's cause and effect. You cause that, the effect is 30 days. You have to choose that of your own free will. Now, if you were born a pedophile and a rapist and a serial killer and all, or what, any of these things, and you have these internal urges that are compelling you to carry out these heinous acts, and yet you can say, I know these are wrong, I know I shouldn't think this, but point is, if you never act on it, okay, that's a whole thing. But the moment you choose to act on it and carry that over onto another, see, the person you're raping or the child that you're molesting or the people that you're killing, you're not giving them any choice in the matter either. You're taking away their choice when you make this decision. So guess what? When you make that decision, you also cause and effect 30 days. You've made the decision that you will go through 30 days. And you know what? If by some grace of God that you were innocent, God will protect you. Otherwise, clean out the cells and start again. It's the first of the month. Next, 5 years of doing that, you would have eliminated the 30% that caused you all these problems in the first place. And again, I know that's harsh, it's drastic. Most people that are out there cringing right now think it's horrible. They think it's much more humane to put a human in a cage and let them rot for 30 years so that you can kill them after that. That is insane to me. That is so beyond anything that makes any sense. You're telling me you're going to pay to support, feed, house, care for a person for 30 years just so you can kill them? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Pick one. Do one or the other, but that's just dumb to do both. Now, Paul, I agree 100% with you, bud, as far as with what you're saying about I myself don't like that there's men that are sitting in jail right now, prison right now, for crimes they didn't commit. Because they didn't have the right lawyer, or because the star witness was the chief detective selling a story, whatever. There's lots of reasons why there's lots of people that are sitting in jail, maybe not on death row, and some of them on death row, but in prison nonetheless. In prison nonetheless over things they didn't do, for a multitude of reasons. You want to know how you get rid of that and make sure that It never happens that an innocent person has to do 30 days. The way you do that is simple. It's called a brain scan. The Marines carry these around in Baghdad. I don't know if I can say that yet, but we'll see. But these brain scans, they're not very big. I mean, it doesn't take an x-ray machine anymore. It takes something about the size of a battery, and a brain scanner will tell you exactly 100% of the time what you're dealing with. For instance, if you've got some guy that you think Harry's a pedophile, you think you've got this guy that's done something, and you want to know if Harry molested Sally. You want to know that. You want to know for 100% sure. You don't want to hear no lawyer talk. You don't want a trial. You don't want a bunch of bullshit. You want to know, is this a pedophile and did he molest her? That's all I want to know. You hook him up. You ask him a few simple questions. Hey, Harry, how do you feel about Sally? Hey, Harry, here's a picture of Sally. Hey, whatever. You go through the photos, go through the exact same interrogation questions that they would ask with the tape recorder on. But instead of that, with the brain scan hooked up, see, it doesn't matter what the words that come out of Harry's mouth. Don't matter how good a liar Harry is. It don't matter if you can pass a lie detector test and have your heart rate never rise above whatever. It don't matter. Your brain cannot lie. It won't. And if you're a pedophile and I show you pictures of Sally, the girl in question, your brain's going to light up in a certain place. It's going to tell me everything I need to know. If you're a murderer and I show you pictures of people being murdered or having been murdered, parts of your brain are going to light up that when I see it or when a normal person sees it is going to be disgusted and upset and annoyed, uncomfortable. And even if I don't show it, even if I pretend that it doesn't bother me whatsoever, it doesn't matter. Those parts in my brain are still lighting up because that's what I am, and that's my response to it, aversion. See, but to a serial killer, it's exciting. To a pedophile, you show them those photos, those parts of their brain light up, no questions asked. Literally, no questions asked. You don't have to have a lawyer. You don't have to have trials. You don't need all that. You want to know if OJ killed his wife? Hook him up to a brain scan. In 15 minutes, we'll know exactly if OJ killed his wife. No speculation. No what you think, what you believe is all irrelevant. His brain has the answer in it, and a brain scanner will tell you. Now, if you're sitting there going, Chad, where are you living that they have brain scanners available? In the United States of America at 3/2/2011 at 1:42 a.m. and we've had them for years. Like I said, the Marines are carrying them around Baghdad. You know why? Because you don't have to speak someone's language. You don't need an interpreter to hook someone up to a brain scan. It don't matter what language your brain interprets things in. It will still tell you, it will still answer the question. Amazing. Don't believe me? Google it. Look for brain scanners. Probably even use that terminology. It'll give you the model number and what the military's name for them is. But just Google brain scanners. You'll get it. Maybe cross-reference it with Google brain scanners, Marines. You'll get it just from that. But we do have them. And why couldn't we use them for finding out if Harry is a serial killer or a pedophile? And once we know for 100% sure that that's what Harry is, guess what? There is no rehabilitation for Harry. Not at all. There's nothing. There's no good thoughts you can think, nothing you can do. And guess what? Harry's probably more tortured than we are being afraid of people like Harry because he can't carry out his real desires. He is in a hell that is a cell that's as big as the whole world because all he really wants is to strangle children. All he really wants is to rape women. That's what he is. And there ain't nothing you or I or the good Lord in heaven is going to do a damn thing about it. But I tell you what, you give me one prison, you give me 5 years, and you give me the latest series of brain scanners and a crew to run it, 5 years, you wouldn't have these behaviors anymore. I know it sounds horrible, but I really believe it, and it's what I really think. And Paul, thanks for the video. I'm still only 13 minutes into it. I just, you know how it is. One bit of inspiration leads to the next. You know, isn't that why we listen to each other? Have a good night. Thanks for listening.